Hi there. So today we are on chapter 8, going through the 1 Corinthians using the 1599 Geneva Bible. Okay. And they always have notes at the beginning here, okay, telling you what it's about, which is kind of cool. Okay. From this place unto the end of the 10th chapter, he willeth them not to be at the Gentiles' profane banquets. Right? It's 1 through 10. So, there you go. And as touching things sacrificed unto idols, that's where he entereth to entreat another kind of things indifferent to wit, of things offered to idols, or the use of flesh so offered and sacrificed, and first of all the removeth all those things which the Corinthians pretended in using things offered to idols without any respect. First of all, they affirm this, that, wow, all this from touching things, right? First of all, they affirmed this, that this difference of meats was for unskillful men. But as for them, they knew well enough to the benefit of Christ, which causeth all these things to be clean to them that are clean. But it so saith Paul, be it that we are all sufficiently instructed in the knowledge of Christ. I say, notwithstanding that we must not simply rest in this knowledge, the reason is that unless our knowledge be tempered with charity or love, right, it doth not only not avail, but also doeth much hurt, because it is the mystery of pride. Nay, it doth not so much as, wow, this is long, huh? As discern the name of godly knowledge, if it be separate from the love of God, and therefore from the love of our neighbor. Wow. That's a long note. Right. And as touching things, we know what that means now. Sacrificed unto idols, we know that we all have knowledge. Knowledge that puffeth up. Right? Watch, there's another big one. Bang. Oh. Ministereth occasion vanity and pride, because it is void of charity. Right? Puffed up, but love edifieth. Right? Instructed our neighbor. Short ones, right? Now, if any man think that he knoweth anything, he knoweth nothing, yet as he ought to know. But if any man love God, the same is known of him. Concerning, therefore, the eating of things sacrificed unto idols, we know that an idol is nothing in the world, and that there is none other God but one. Right? For though there be that are called gods, whether in heaven or in earth, as there be many gods and many lords. For though there be that are called gods, whether in heaven or in earth, as there be many gods and many lords. Right? What says, therefore, although there may be so-called gods in heaven or on earth, as indeed there are many gods and many lords, yet unto us there is but one God, which is that Father, of whom we are all things, and we in him, and one Lord Jesus Christ, by whom all things, and we by him. Okay. But every man hath not that knowledge, for many, having conscience of the idol until this hour, eat as a thing sacrificed unto the idol, and so their conscience, being weak, is defiled. That's just, but every man, the reason why that followeth not is this, because there are many men which do not know that which you know. Now the judgments of outward things depend not only upon your conscience, but upon the conscience of them that behold you. And therefore your actions must be applied not only to your knowledge, but also to the ignorance of your brethren. Right? For many having, right, applying of the reason, there are many which cannot eat things offered to idols, but with a wavering conscience, because they think them to be unclean. Therefore, if by thy example they enterprise to do that which inwardly they thinketh displeaseth God, their conscience is defiled with this eating. And thou hast been the occasion of this mischief. Right? You said all things are clean that God makes clean, and it does say that, right? But if there are people that trip over that, you're adding to their misery, basically, by doing that, okay? But meat maketh us not acceptable to God, for neither if we eat have we the more, neither if we eat not have we the less. Right? Doesn't make a difference. But take heed, lest by any means this power of yours be an occasion of falling to them that are weak. Right? Always set a good example. Right? For if any man see that which has knowledge sit at the table of the idol's temple, shall not the conscience of him who is weak be boldened to eat those things which are sacrificed to idols? Mm-hmm. And through thy knowledge shall the weak brother perish for whom Christ died. Now, when ye sin so against the brethren, and wound their weak conscience, ye sin against Christ. Mm-hmm. Wherefore, if meat offended my brother, I will eat no flesh while the world standeth, that I may not offend my brother. Right. And there it is. Did you get all that in the thing? And look at all these notes. All these notes are about that one little chapter, right? Okay, let's read it over here. In our own language, right? Now, concerning food offered to idols, we know that all of us possess knowledge. This knowledge puffs up, but love builds up, edifies, right? If anyone imagines that he knows something, he does not yet know as he ought to know. But if anyone loves God, he is known by God. Right? Him. Right? If anyone imagines that he knows something, he does not yet know. Now, is there a note for that over here on 2? See, look, there's no notes for 2. Isn't that something? Right? And there's a saying, people that think they know everything can be taught nothing. Okay, remember that. You're better off saying, I don't know anything. Right? Okay, 4. Therefore, as to the eating of food offered to idols, we know that an idol has no real existence, and that there is no God but one. For although there may be so-called gods in heaven or on earth, as indeed there are many gods and many and lords, right? Mm-hmm. Yet for us there is one God, the Father, for whom all the things and for whom we exist, and one Lord Jesus Christ, through whom are all things, and through him whom we exist. Right? However, not all possess this knowledge, but some, through former association with idols, eat food as really offered to an idol, and their conscience, being weak, is defiled. Food will not commend us to God. We are no worse off if we do not eat, or no better off if we do. But take care that this right of yours does not somehow become a stumbling block to the weak. For if anyone sees you have knowledge eating in an idol's temple, will he not be encouraged, if his conscience is weak, to eat food offered to idols? And so, by your knowledge, this weak person is destroyed, the brother of whom Christ died, for whom Christ died. Thus, sinning against your brothers and wounding their conscience when it is weak, you sin against Christ. Therefore, if food makes my brother stumble, I will never eat meat, lest I make my brother stumble. All right. Right. So that's interesting. You got to be careful around, people, new Christians, okay? They see you as a very experienced old Christian, and they see you doing something, they're going to think, well, it must be okay, so they can do it too, right? When they don't understand that there are, right? Yeah, we know there is one God and only one God, but they were worshiping idols, right? And to them, they have changed to the one true God, but they still think of the idols, and they still think they have power. So if you think it's okay, then they do that. Therefore, in their mind, they are sinning. Okay, you are bringing them down. So there you go. A very simple subject and a very short chapter. So there you go. Good for a Saturday. Catch up on the ones you may have missed and give us a like if you think about it. And tomorrow we'll keep going. See you then.